going to use that because of it's heart healthy. These ones, red split lentils. In India, they're very famous. They eat them a lot of the time. We cook them sometimes before with masoor dal, as that they call them. They're really good. They're split, and they actually kind of break into dissolve in the soup that we're going to do. The other ingredients are going to be celery, some onion, a potato. You also have the option to use sweet potato. That's also great. A little bit of garlic and a little bit of ginger. So I wanted to, the other thing I want to show you quickly is, you know, these beautiful things I found in the market. It's a eggplant. It's like a baby, they call it Japanese eggplant. You know, it's really thin and long. So I'm going to show you quickly how to cook it the fastest thing you can imagine. So for that, we're just going to put it directly on right here on the burner and turn it on. So we're going to basically, you get your tongs, and as it starts, we've done this with pepper too, but this is with this little eggplant, so they take no time. And this is a great like snack I can talk to you about. While that goes on the heat, you could put medium heat. I'll continue here. So another trick I wanted to tell you for so we're gonna do our celery. Make sure you cut it into bite-sized pieces. You wash them really well. All this is going to go directly into our pot. And your option, you can add a little bit into our pot, a little bit of olive oil, which we'll do, or you can actually just do it with a little bit of vegetable or water if you're cutting down a little bit on fats. So we have to that, we're just gonna add our celery. And then we'll just always stir it with a wooden spoon as we go. So I'm gonna add, this is like, I usually add like 4 or 5 celery ribs. For the onion, about half an onion. I'm just gonna go all the way like this. Doesn't have to be very thin. Just dice. I always flip it at the end. There you go, just like that. I know you can hear it, now it's sizzling. That's my onion. This is a medium onion, so it's about half of one. But actually, I need a little bit more of celery. Celery, again, lots of fiber. Actually, and celery is a really good natural source of sodium. You know, it's not like the added salt. So we can definitely be careful and not adding too much sodium when we make this food. You can have veggie stock, or you can have just water. We're going to add water here. So just start sauteing, and let's check on our eggplant, which is right here. So see how it's getting color in the side? That's exactly, you definitely want that char. So you move it a little bit to one side to another. Okay, so meanwhile, we're gonna do the potato here. And just as I thought, I have like, it's probably like half a cup of the red lentils. I rinse them really well in a colander, small enough so that those don't rinse out of the colander. And then once it's rinsed, then we're gonna just add it once we add the water. I like it because you'll see how it just dissolves. For people, it's actually a good recipe for people who don't like, you know, beans or lentils. This one, since they basically dissolve, it just makes it like a really great, flavorful stock soup, but it's actually, you won't see the lentils in themselves. Sometimes I even find it has like, it's weird, but it has like a chicken flavor, the red lentils for some reason. But yeah, those are really good in calcium and potassium. So great for heart health. And a natural way of having it. So here's our, so we're gonna go ahead and add just water. Let me make this. Also, because of the potato, it's going to also be hearty, both the potato and the lentil. Now, just add the water. I actually add like, this would be like about 6 cups of water. Whenever you're doing soup, always a bay leaf, dry or fresh if you have fresh. And now we're going to do a little ginger. But before that, I want to just show you a little trick. I want to let's check on our eggplant. Still cooking. Make sure to get roasted from all parts. And I'll show you when it's ready, how you can tell that it's ready. I'm going to go add the lentils to here. Once you add the lentils, you stir a little bit, and we can season with salt and pepper lightly. Remember, you always, for sodium, you always under season with less salt than you think you'll need. And then you can add a little bit at the end when you're serving it on the table. People think that they should never have salt on the table. Actually, a little bit of salt on the top at the very end is when you actually taste it more than otherwise when it's hidden in the soups and stuff. I also don't recommend in general, if you are looking for a lower blood pressure, to order soups in restaurants or in stores. They tend to have a lot of sodium added to it. And there's something that you just can't take out. So here I'm doing the ginger. Not a lot, but like ginger is so fragrant that a little bit goes a long way, gives a little bit of spice flavor to it. You want a little chili in here. If you want to make it actually more spicy, you can definitely add like a jalapeno or some dried chili flakes. That would be great too. Anyway, and what I was going to tell you, the little extra story, that's the ginger. It's for the garlic. You've always seen me grab my garlic like this, and then I go with my knife and I smash it. Well, that's obviously what a lot of people do. However, I hear some people hate to do that because they get garlic fingers, like smelling the garlic. So if you ever have a garlic presser like this, basically that you're gonna go and put the garlic in, you don't need to peel the garlic. You can probably have a little piece when you take it, but just like that, not even peeled, and then put it directly in here. And then I'll squeeze it on the table so you can see it. Let me get this here. So once I squeeze it in, it's a big garlic chunk. So if you see, now we have all the pulp of the garlic in there. And then when you take it out, there's the skin. So you don't need to deal with like peeling the skin. I don't mind it at all, but some people are like that. So there's just, if you don't like it, get your garlic presser, get all that garlic, and then just like that, without chopping, you're adding it to your soup. All right. Now, before we finish, and one more ingredient I'm gonna add is tomato paste. This comes in like a little tube. I have just a little bit, but a little goes a long way. Just about maybe a tablespoon. Let me just get it here. It's about as much as I'm gonna get from this. Tomatoes are also good for the heart. They have lycopene, but it has to be cooked tomatoes for that nutrient to develop, not fresh. But anyway, so you get like a tablespoon like that. Just put it in there, and it just gives a little bit of color, definitely some flavor. They mention a lot that tomato puree like this is a great flavor enhancer, a natural flavor enhancer. You've heard maybe about the monosodium glutamate, MSG. Well, that's chemically made, but tomatoes have that one that sometimes they call it umami flavor. So I'm going to show you meanwhile, while our soup is cooking, our eggplant. So our eggplant is pretty much done. I'm going to show you here on the cutting board. Here's our tiny little eggplant. It took us not even 5 minutes, just as I was talking. So how do you know it's done? You get almost like a potato. You go get your knife, and if it comes in and out, it's done. There's a little part here that is still not quite. So I'm gonna put it back in there just because, you know, you have to make sure that all the areas. So what do you do then? Then what you do is put it in a container with a lid because it's gonna steam in there. So I made one earlier, comes this size. So then once you steam it for a little bit, just use your fingers. Remember, like you do a little roasted pepper. It's the same thing. You don't have to clean every single piece of it, and by all means, don't rinse it under water because then you get a lot of the flavor out. And then, so once you have it like that, you're ready to eat it. I'm gonna put it back in my cutting board and rinse my hands. What you can do, and I recommend, is I like it just like that, and I'm gonna just trim the ends, and then you can. It's so soft, you can just chop it really quickly. I'm gonna turn my soup on and the eggplant. So once you chop it like this, it's almost like a puree, just like that. I love it like that, with a lot of the seeds inside. If you get a little bit of these like edges with the charred part, great, because there's actually a really great flavor. And then you can season this with a little salt. I didn't season with a little salt in my soup. And then I'm gonna put some pepper. And what I really like is, I'll show you in this little bowl. I'm just gonna put it in there. It's a little big, but once I have it there, I have some sesame seeds to it. So then you add a little bit of the sesame seeds in there and a little bit of olive oil and mix it. You can do it with a spoon or with a fork, just a little bit. This is so delicious. Obviously, I'm doing just a small one, but you can do several. And then this one you can spread on toast. You can also mix it with some beans, like white beans or chickpeas, and it's called baba ganoush. But it's so delicious. You can put a little bit of garlic too, or a little bit of oregano, for example, and you love it. So here's our soup. It's cooking, so it'll take a little longer. I'm gonna move it and gonna show you the one I did earlier. So here's one I did earlier, and you can see the consistency. It's really nice and like it's very hearty. I like it in the winter, but I like it also in the day. You can just serve it with a little bit of sprinkle of chili. Or if you want spice, or a little sprinkle of lemon.
Oh, that is great, JP.
And yeah, so there you go. So enjoy. Hope you can make it. That's the soup.
Yep.
And there's the baba ganoush right there with the eggplant, the newly roasted eggplant right there. If you make these dishes, please post pictures on our Smart Facebook page.